You are watching or listening to Light Up with Shua, a weekly podcast on conscious living and parenting. If you are following my series on parent alienation, you must have heard my episode last week, which talked about symptoms of parent alienation. And out of 8, I mentioned 2, and I will quickly mention the rest of the symptoms 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, remember to share this episode so we can all learn. And if you like it, please press the like button and let me know what you think. You can visit my website lightupwithshua.com and leave a message or a comment or a testimonial as you wish. You can find this podcast on most of the platforms of podcasts that are available today. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I am more regular on YouTube, and my website has all the links, so you are welcome to visit and leave a comment through by writing a text message or a video message or an audio message, so as you wish. This is a heavy subject for me, and I have found that many who are involved in parent alienation have unique experiences, but it is not easy to go through it. The parent who is alienated is hurt, is down, and feels helpless in this situation. And as I had mentioned, that there can be many scenarios in which this can happen, but it is mostly common in divorced and separated parents. But I personally feel that it is the most dangerous and difficult to manage when it is taking place in intact parents who are together. So I will be, as I mentioned and promised, that I will be bringing some guests, some who will be talking about this subject in my podcast episode, and there will be some experts, some parents. They are experts in their own fields, in their respective fields, whether they are faith-based or scientific or whatever their expertise are. They all have something to talk about this topic, this subject. So I hope you will learn something that you don't know, and if you can share your experiences, that will be really helpful for me and my guests and people who are watching and following my channel. They are looking for understanding and learning about all the conscious living topics that I mention and talk about. So without further ado, I will talk about number 3, lack of ambivalence. A child who is suffering from parental alienation syndrome is quite negative towards the alienated parent, who is the parent who is doing the alienation. That parent has no responsibility or is not to be blamed in the eyes of the child. So the child is very clear that the alienated parent, the targeted parent, is to be blamed, and this is the worst thing that the alienator can do. The next is the independent thinker phenomena. Even though the alienating parent has brainwashed the child to hate or fear the alienated parent, the child will insist that their reasons for this hatred are their own. They will not mention the parent who is alienating, and in many cases protect them. And this is the best way that they say, oh, they are not to be blamed, this is my own experience, and In my example that I have been talking about is in which the father has been alienating his wife. They are intact, and their child thinks that father has nothing to do with it. This can happen at all stages and ages of children and the parents. Children who have been alienated, children who have been taught and brainwashed against a parent at early age, it continues till they're adults, and at that time it is very hard for the child or grown-up children to really differentiate, because they have grown up with that thought and mindset that the alienated parent is to be blamed. Number 5 is an absence of guilt. Children with this training, brainwashing, are typically, they have no guilt or feeling of empathy. They are very harsh toward the alienated parent, and they are very suddenly ungrateful and cold, and very highly dismissive of the alienated parent. And it's quite heartbreaking to see that this can happen in such a powerful way. Number 6, support for the alienating parent. The alienating parent gets full support from their child because the child thinks they are fine. They are fully against the alienated parent, the targeted parent, and the child is unwilling to be impartial against the alienated parent. So number 7 is they also borrow the phrases and scenarios of their parent who has been alienating the other parent, and they don't even realize that they are doing that and using those phrases and words against the targeted parent. Number 8 is rejection of extended family. Unfortunately, the resentment is not limited to the mother, the parent against whom the father has alienated the child, but it extends to the family like aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and so on. And once they were fine and they really loved and cared for them, but this disease doesn't forgive so easily, and it goes on till the extended family, and that's the other extension of this brainwashing that affects the extended family as well. What to do about it? It's very hard to turn around in many cases. In extreme cases, it's really difficult. The damage is done. It depends how the damage is done, how subtle and how slow it has been, and also depends on the child, how they see it and what is their experience, I'm not saying that parents don't do mistakes, they do, but to dismiss a parent on really very small incidents or experiences and just totally dismiss them completely for all what they have done is heartbreaking. I hope nobody has to go through this. I pray and wish that no one has to go through this heartbreak within their daughter or son, and their children are also in a turmoil, and it's not an easy situation to be in. So I hope that this can stop. Parents can realize what a damage this is to their own selves and to the children. And if you believe in law of retribution, karma, as you sow, so shall you reap mindset and philosophy, then they will not be spared, whoever does this. With this, I will end my episode for today. I wish you all a very happy day and many more to come. I pray for everyone out there that they never have to face this kind of situation where a parent is brainwashing a child against the other. No one should do that. No one should fall for it. I wish children can think for themselves and maybe help their parents not to do that. Stay tuned for more on this subject. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to visit my website lightuppichwa.com and let me know what you think of this episode or any other episode. Take care.